What use is a dagger of speed to me?
I don't know. What if it lets you cast spells faster?
Interesting hypothesis.
She grabbed the dagger.
Let's test it.
Now?
Yes, now.
Medeaa glanced around and gestured to a wide wooden beam.
There. Pick a low-mana dueling spell. Something basic you've cast before.
Nikolai tried to think of a spell. His dueling repertoire didn't contain anything that basic. Bleed, pummel, lance, amputate, lightning. These were the kinds of spells he collected. Defensive spells like gust and flash didn't have the same appeal, though he did know a few. What did he know that was small? Ah, puncture. The spell was a favourite among novices at the academy, as it did little more than simulate being stuck with a pin. They loved to cast it on one another and unsuspecting instructors. Got it. He drew his wand and moved into position. Medeaa gave him a look of distaste. What? He asked.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Something had irked her, but he didn't press the issue. How will you measure?
With my mind. Cast it several times so I can get an average.
He aimed his wand at the beam. Punctum, 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 punctum. Tiny puncture marks pocked the wooden beam in rapid succession. She shook her head.
I already know how this is going to end. No matter. Here is the dagger.
He accepted the golden handle and aimed his wand once more. Punctum, 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 punctum. He laughed. His hand flew like lightning. The words rattled from his mouth with no breath between. He'd have to figure out how to weasel the dagger away from Petrov. Perhaps he could forge a new document claiming it was worthless. Definitely faster. He turned a grin to Medeaa and was surprised to find the same look of distaste. She must be irate at having chosen the pot. Her loss.
Yes, well, when you cast spells in the slowest manner possible, anything that increases your speed will improve your performance.
He bristled. I'll have you know that I was the fastest dueler when I left the academy.
That is truly disheartening.
He stepped forward and loomed over her. It wasn't difficult. The top of her head barely came up to his chin. He brandished the dagger in her face and spoke slowly. You're just upset you didn't pick this. Her mouth curved into a smirk, and she nodded toward the beam, which instantly became pocked with 100 tiny holes. He'd felt no spell emanate from her. It was as if the spell began and ended at the wood itself. Petrov's scrawled words rose to the forefront of his mind. Please don't maim him. He took a step back, but she closed the distance between them. Somehow she managed to look down on him from below.
When you cast spells with word or wand, you only slow yourself.
Her voice was low, not menacing, but careful and measured.
Tell Petrov I said you should keep the dagger. Clearly you could use the extra help.
With that, Medeaa marched around him toward the door. She paused with her hand upon the knob, then rolled her eyes and stalked back to the table, where she snatched up the earthen pot and muttered,
Forgot this.
The bag on her hip expanded, and she hastily crammed her prize inside, arm disappearing to the elbow. When she withdrew her hand, it clutched something small.
And this?
She tossed it to Nikolai. One of the virility bracelets the portly man had been examining.
I removed it from his coat as soon as I realized he was stealing it,
she explained.
If you hadn't been so keen on throwing me out, I would have returned it to you sooner.
With that, she marched back out, the door closing with finality behind her. Nikolai stared at the wooden beam, as punctured as his ego.